All right, for today's lesson, we are going to focus on combinations. A combination, again, is a way of arranging, so is a way to arrange a group of objects where the order does not matter. So this is different than a permutation because our order does not matter. Okay, so, and we do have a little bit different formula. And you're going to notice C for combination. So the N and the R are the exact same as they were for permutation. So N is the total number of objects. And the R is the number of ways to put them. And the formula, the only difference is this R. So we still have the n minus r factorial, but we also have an r factorial down here. So there is a quick shortcut when you're doing these. So I'll show you that after we practice just a couple. So your formula will have a C on it. So we have 9 choose 3 is basically how you say it. So 9 choose 3. Again, here's our n. Here's our r. So if we plug everything in, it's going to be a 9 factorial. So 9 factorial over, and then r factorial, so 3 factorial, and then n minus r, 9 minus 3 factorial. So that cleans up to be a 3 factorial and a 6 factorial. So you're going to notice that the bottom always adds to give you the top. So if you don't want to do this subtraction, it'll always work. So whatever this first r is, just subtract that from the top and that'll be what's left over, which is basically what we're doing. And as far as solving these out, we're going to do something very similar like we did before. So 9 times 8 times 7, and I'm going to leave it at a 6 factorial because that's bigger than 3 factorial. 3 times 2 times 1 times 6 factorial. So this 3, 2, 1 is the 3 factorial. I kept the 6 factorial because I want to show how that's going to cancel. And so then the math, and you can continue to reduce these. You have a calculator though, so you can also just plug them in and you should get an 84. So let me show you this again. So this time we have 7 choose 2. So it's going to be a 7 factorial over 2 factorial, and then 7 minus 2 factorial. And when you clean that up, it'll be a 5 factorial. So you can see that no matter what you do, whatever that r is, you're just going to add these and that'll give you the 7. And then you can reduce in a similar fashion. Oh, I didn't actually reduce. Let me go back here. So 7 times 6 times 5 factorial over 2 factorial, which is 2 times 1. Sorry, my brain is having a hard time. Times 5 factorial. The 2 5 factorials will cancel. And you'll have 7 times 6 divided by 2, so that's 21. Right, so now examples that we'll look at. So your friend is having a party. So these will be combinations, which means the order won't matter, but when we do the next examples, you'll see, you'll get to figure out if the order matters or not, and that's usually the toughest part. So your friend is having a party. There are 15 games to choose from. There's enough time to play 4. How many ways can you choose to play 4 games? So this is where one that the order doesn't matter that you play the games in, it's just that you play 4. So this would be a 15 choose 4, so total number, the ways that we can put them in. And so the formula would be a 15 factorial over 4 factorial. And since we know when we just subtract these, we're going to get an 11. So when I add these, I get 15. And then 15 times 14 times 13 times 12 times 11 factorial over 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 11 factorial. So you should be writing some of this out for homework so I can see how you're working it out. at least make sure you show this beginning piece. When you clean the rest of this up, you get 1,365. All right, next example. Your English teacher is asking you to read 3 novels from a list of 10. The order doesn't matter that you read them in, just that you read all 3. So this will be a 10, choose 3. And so this will look like 10 factorial over 3 factorial and 7 factorial. And then again, if we clean it up, 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 factorial over 3 times 2 times 1. Really don't need the 1 times 7 factorial. Again, your 7 factorials will cancel. And then you'll have 10 times 9 times 8, basically divided by 6, so 120.